68 teams, 67 games, but only one champion. It begins here with the first four. We've seen dreams turn into reality in the Final Four before with teams here. The ball is tipped and the dance begins. Tapped loose, knocked out of bounds. And UMBC will take the first possession. A little anticlimactic right
we
there.
just start with a little error here and there, so now we'll kick it off.
Already full court pressure coming out from Howard. This is a team that'll pressure you all 94 feet on the floor.
Yeah, they're trying to rattle you early on, get you to make some mistakes. Almost a mistake there, but a little foul going towards the basket.
So an early foul in the first 15 seconds against Howard. And UMBC from Baltimore, Maryland, part of the America East, they've won their last 12 games. That's the second longest winning streak in the nation. It's their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2018 when they made history, defeating #1 seed Virginia by 20. First free throw in and out for King.
Yeah, with King too, coming off a scoreless game against Vermont the last time out. In the finals, it's one of the things that they would like to see. He was 0 for 8 from the floor. Just got to feel that he's got to get one to go to see that ball go through the hoop, get him a little bit of confidence starting this game up, because he's a trigger for this team.
Hard to believe that's his first point in the last 2 games. They talked about the nerves in that championship game and the crowd they had at UMBC. Spinning towards the cup. Okoje can't get it to drop. UMBC brings it back down.
Very athletic with his moves, both at the defensive end of the floor, but going offensively to the basket. A little bit of a zone look right now, a matchup, which means that you're going to fill the spot when somebody leaves it.
Cross-court pass, rising for 3 and knocking it down. It's Ace Valentine.
If he can give them a lift also, he's one of their better scorers too, at 12 points a game.
Cam Gillis at point. Really what stirs everything effectively on offense for Howard, sets things up for the rest of the squad. He is integral to everything they're trying to do. 9 to shoot, Cotton up top. Taylor, baseline drive in between 2 defenders, picks up the foul.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Tanchin probably coming in as a secondary defender just then.
Howard, about 30 minutes away from the UMBC campus from Washington, D.C., part of the MEAC. They've won their last 8 games, and that's the thing with both these teams. They played very well towards the end of the regular season and were a couple of the rare 1 seeds to win their conference tournament. It's the first foul on Tanchin as Cedric Taylor III, who had a hand injury, was not part of this roster until December 13th, and once he stepped onto the court, made a huge difference. We mentioned the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. Gives him so much versatility.
Yeah, and he's also had 8 games where he scored 20-plus points. So, yes, you're right, Jordan, defensive specialist, but don't count him out when it comes to the other side of the floor.
Knocks down both free throws, and the press comes out from the Bison.
So it's full court with the 2-2-1, and then they try to trap. Nice look over the top.
Oh, Dunowo down low, and we have the first wedgie of the tournament, Jim.
Didn't take long. What are we about, a minute and change into this?
Ruled a jump ball, Howard possession, but the extra effort. And Cotton had a foul. That's a bit of a risky proposition.
Yeah, it sure is. That's a layup in the making right there, but good reaction defensively.
And both these squads excellent on the defensive end. They both had improvements of nearly 11 points fewer than what they allowed last year. Taylor wiggling his way to the cup for 2 more.
And nice help there by Harris along the baseline, setting up a little bit of a screen to give him a lane to get to the basket on the left side.
Howard flying around on defense. That ball deflected out of bounds. Okoje getting a hand on that.
You'll notice that the big stands right there in front of him. 3-4 on the Bryce Harris, holding off the defenders to allow him to get to the hoop.
Armstrong will tee one up. Too strong. Rebound to Cotton. Howard will want to run in transition. Gillis into the paint, kicks it back out.
Especially if they can force you into taking a quick, bad shot. Nice action, though. They keep the ball hopping.
Okoje, pump fake between 2, gets it to drop.
A little squeeze on the action just then. Wasn't sure whether he's going to get that shot off, but watch how they squeeze in on him. Along the baseline, he comes here, and then he goes up, and he finds a way to get away from the squeeze, to drift back away, and then gets hit as the ball goes up in the air. Very nice finish.
The foul is on Odunawo, so he'll check out. Caden Diggs will come in early. And Osia Koje, a chance for a three-point play, adds some tip to the bill, and Howard builds a three-point lead.
And they don't take a step down, too, when Diggs comes onto the floor also. Sixth man of the year in the conference. Look at this scattered defense. They really force you to play a little quicker.
Just 7-0 Howard run, and you already feel the clamps coming in on defense, speeding up UMBC.
Yeah, well, you notice little bobbles here and there. They're looking for defenders to come after him. Here's an isolation, pretty good in the post.
Tanshin, cross-court fine, 10 to shoot. Armstrong, baseline drive, whips it around to the other corner. That three, no good from Diggs.
Look at the pace, though, coming down. Nice transition defense. But all the white jerseys, 4 out of 5, right back to the paint.
Gillis up top, was looking down low for a moment, redirecting traffic. Taylor, strong drive to the left, cut off. Taylor somehow flips it in.
And one of the things they've picked up very quickly is they're isolating guys on the left side of the floor. That's the third time we've seen somebody go towards the baseline and make something happen with the dribble.
Armstrong thought about it for a moment. King with a clean look. His three off target, rebound to Koje.
Well, that's the one. He needs that open shot to go down. 0 for 3 in his last game from the three-point line.
Harris, pump fake, puts it on the floor. Knifing through the lane, can't get it. Rebound to Tanshin. UMBC wants to run.
There's that left side of the floor again, Jordan. They're really isolating people over there. Got to really rotate some help.
Valentine takes the contact, no whistle. Ball batted free, the Bison.
Hold up a second, you got numbers if you want them. There's a layup if they look for it. They missed it underneath.
Harris will slow things down, has a bit of a mismatch. Gillis for three, up top, it's short.
Funny spin on that ball, wasn't it? It was like a curveball, right-handed pitcher throwing a curveball up there.
Looked like one of our tee shots also.
Well, they found the ball, though.
King goes glass for 2. That ends the run for Howard.
And when you're struggling as a guard or a big guy who can put the ball on the floor, you got to the free throw line first, get yourself into the lane and get a layup. See that ball go through the hoop because he's very important for this team.
Howard 3 of 6 to start this game. Nice. Taylor, the cut, 2 defenders, and close them. Cotton, catch and shoot 3, no good. Rebound to Diggs. Diggs had a moment.
Yep. Both of those guys turning down shots, which I think made sense. Get to a rhythm.
The double team to King nearly throws it away. Valentine saves it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Valentine with the left rolls to the rim.
Notice how he had to just drift just a little bit away from the defender to get that shot up. Nice move on his part in terms of separating.
Back-to-back buckets for UMBC to trim it to a 1-point lead.
I love these 6-team matchups. They just come out and play.
Gillis down low amongst the Giants, rises up for 2.
5'11", had to use every bit of that size to get that one to go.
Armstrong off the bounce. Oh, he nets a triple, ties it up at 11 apiece.
As we touched on against Vermont, 33 points, but was 7 of 9 in that last game that they played from the three-point line.
Retrievers 2 of 5 from outside in the early going. Harris hands it off to Gillis. 8 on the shot clock. Harris, contested 3. He's able to put it in, so Howard responds.
I'm going to go back to Jenny Dell's report at the beginning of this game. The legs look pretty good to me. They didn't leave him on the plane.
Turnover, UMBC. So back and forth we go in Dayton. The Retrievers, the champions of the America East, taking on the Bison, the MEAC champions. Great start here in Dayton. Watch every men's game live on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now to stay up to date on all the action. 14-11 lead for Howard at the moment. They've got 8 points in the paint to the Bison. You've mentioned that left-hand side of the block, they're making a living in the early going.
Yeah, and I think that has added up to an advantage for Kenneth Blake, the coach over there, and Duke alum. I have to mention that again to slide that in. But they have been getting some mileage in the paint. That's one of the things I would be concerned about from UMBC.
Riley Jacobs, the young freshman, checking in for UMBC, as well as Cougar Downing, number 21. Howard nearly turns it over. Calvin Robbins able to save it. 8 to shoot. Gillis up top.
He usually makes something happen here.
Gillis draws to Bryson, fresh off the pine, able to pipe in the 3.
Well, there's Gillis, though, too. Understanding the shot clock situation patiently and making sure they get a shot with 5 or less seconds on the clock. Pretty good sign early on.
Howard shooting 60% from the field to get this game going. King spills it out of bounds. Bison ball, and Jim Ferry telling his troops just to calm down.
Yeah, you should notice he takes everybody away from him here and that just lays it out there for Bryson to go long range with his shot. And there we talked about it earlier, Jordan, just that frenetic pace of the defensive end of the floor for Howard, forcing turnovers, forcing fumbles.
And that's really been the difference for Howard during this 8-game winning streak. The defense has played an exceptional level. They have switchability, they have length. They throw that 2-2-1 out at you. It speeds you up. Taylor, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound to Valentine.
Now you got to read this defense, like you mentioned, just a little bit better. Still in the matchup. Got to find somebody in the middle of the floor right there. There's a flash. They got to find them quickly, though. They didn't find it.
Diggs from the corner, no good. Bryson skying for the board.
Yeah, so if you get those shots in the corner, you want to get those coming from the inside out. That middle of the lane against that matchup zone is where you have to be.
To your point, the ball didn't touch the paint just once. On the other end, Okoje living in the paint. Tough angle, gets it to drop.
Is there a right side of the floor down this end? Everything on the left.
Shot chart's going to look really hot on that left-hand side. That's a foul about 35 feet away from the basket against Gillis. Well, first four coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins tomorrow at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. 10 paint points already for Howard, and this is a team that they say they run a lot of that motion offense, and it's playing off a feel.
Yeah, very quick, too, to the point. The ball's really hopping pretty well. I think somebody has to go by one of the perimeter guys instead of just either going to the middle of the lane or passing it around the horn. You got to drive by somebody.
Ball sticking outside once again. Yep. Jacobs kicks it over to Armstrong.
Really not in an attack mode yet.
Odunawo will set the screen. UMBC still can't get to the interior. Long pass to Armstrong. Armstrong, step back jumper. Oh, it's pure.
You know, there are times in practice when you play 5 against 7, and
Harris fouled at the summit.
Yep.
And so free throws coming for the MEAC Player of the Year.
So here they go again, right to the basket, to the paint area. Howard really looking good, and then finally that little pullback jumper that he can hit so effectively. Sticking around UMBC.
Coach, you've been here before. What do you think of the team's start?
I love our pace on the offensive end, our ability to get out and sprint the lanes and pass ahead and share it. I think on the defensive end, we got to do a better job of identifying shooters and contesting shots.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
That last foul was against Riley Jacobs for UMBC, sending Harris to the line. And the defensive pressure from Howard, especially as they retreat from the trap to the half-court defense, it feels like UMBC's just having to work so hard for any quality look.
Yeah, but Jenny got a chance to interview him right after the guy hits a 15-foot pull-up jumper right in front of him. So what does he focus on? We got to get better at the defensive end.
What coach doesn't want to get better at the defensive end?
I doubt he's going to say he's happy with every single thing right now. Got to worry about getting it over. There you go.
8-point lead for Howard at the moment. Can UMBC get the ball in the paint here? That's what you want to see from them.
I also want to see them get somebody in the middle of the floor against that double teaming.
Downing downs the corner 3.
37% on the 3, so they needed a shot to go. Get some rhythm back into their offense.
Full team shooting well. UMBC 50% from the field. The Bison close to 60%. 4 assists on 7 made baskets for Howard. Harris, extended block, beautiful cut down low. It was Brown, dislodged, no whistle, then a turnover on the other end. Active hands. Okoje to the cup, too strong. Bryson brings it back down, puts her right back in.
Real good activity. Maybe he's questioning, like Kenny just said a second ago. He must love the activity he's getting on the offensive glass, the offensive putbacks. Once again, they have exactly UMBC doing what they want. There's finally a little push towards the basket. They have to start to make something happen off the dribble.
8 to shoot. UMBC still extended. Jacobs in the paint. O'Dunawall at the cup, and a foul is whistled. And that's the hard take in the paint you've been looking for.
Yeah, you see the results they get with a couple of dribble drives. It's a simple game. A lot of people say against the zone you can't drive it, but if you split the seam, you can drive it, and then you get 2-on-1 underneath. Watch the 2-on-1 develop right there. Defender jumps out, just drop it right off. There's only one better play in basketball, and it's the 1-on-0.
The foul was on Harris, his first, third team foul for Howard. First free throw's good. It's round one, but you've been putting in the work for your team all season. Celebrate making it to the tournament with an ice-cold Coca-Cola. You get enough looks at this zone here, Jim, and eventually you get comfortable where those soft spots are. And as you continue to say, it's the free throw line, but then the bigs have to have the vision and make the play with the ball in their hands.
Exactly, and the other thing that you can do is you can set a screen on one of the guys on the perimeter, come off that and make something happen. Don't come around the corner and just flip it back and forth around the perimeter. That's exactly what Howard wants you to do.
Bryson. This is everything on the long three. Taylor scoops up the rebound. Shot clock continues, and then a foul by O'Dunawall. That will be his second.
Yeah, a little trick there by Taylor, too. Taylor did not have his legs underneath him as much as he wanted to with the strength. And when you see him come in, watch the upper part of his body. Legs aren't there, but he leans in, he gets the contact, and he also probably makes a little yell towards the officials' attention.
Well, the Academy Awards were the other night as well, too.
That one got him to the line.
First free throw, no good for Taylor, so checking back in, it's Caden Diggs. And both these teams played heavy minutes for their starters and their conference tournament championship games, but we're seeing the benches get significant minutes here in the first half.
Well, I think that's just to make sure the nerves aren't there earlier in the game. They put some substitutions in. Here's that full court action again. Now it's a 1-2-2 looking for a trap opportunity. Now you have to attack.
Tangen has it down low. Diggs rises for the slam.
It wasn't in the middle of the floor, Jordan, but it's either you go fast to the middle and turn and go, or go up the sidelines. Well executed, good adjustment on the fly.
Gillis pursued, a bit of a gamble by King. He's on the deck. He's trying to get up. Bryson to the cup, can't roll in. Harris down low, slapped at. And a foul on the floor. And that will be against DJ Armstrong, his first.
And remember, when you have three guys up on the floor, you got three stuck up here, right? So now you go over either the side or get somebody in the middle, but it's got to be that bang-bang action. You just can't catch it and say, oh, we got it across half court. You know, let's say a prayer. No, you want to go after it and attack it. Good job just then.
Gillis to inbound to the corner. Cotton outside. Can't roll it in. Rebound to Diggs.
Not a bad effort, too, by Downing to get out there to force it a little quicker. Good job.
King, the drive up and under. Reverse.
Now Jim Ferry's team is starting to mix it up a little bit better. They were stuck on that one side. Backdoor cut here. Nice work.
Taylor fumbles it. Okoje can't get it. Follows his miss and picks up the foul.
That's when you're playing aggressively. Offensively going to the basket. Well, you take a look going up the floor. They're pushing it now. Little fake. Get it to the glass. Nice reverse, too. Use that net as a defender for you. But that work in the paint points for Howard, just impressive.
The fouls against Cougar Downing. And what's interesting is UMBC fouls 13.2 times per game. That's the second fewest in the nation. They have 16 fouls already, Jim, as that free throw's no good.
The other side of that, Jordan, is where they get Howard getting their points inside. So there's a feature of going to the basket.
14 paint points for the Bison so far.
Like the UMBC last couple of trips down the floor, they beat the defense down the floor. Now they have to go half court against it again.
Paul Green getting his first run of the game, number 10, dumps it off to King. Shot clock winding down and a foul on the ball. Howard can't believe it. Akoje thought he was playing some straight-up defense, but we're noticing a little bit of a tighter whistle here.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call. Watch the shoulders come in. When he comes in up high, right? He turns here. You see his shoulders meet him. The officials are always set up. An official is like looking at that from right along with the vision, almost out by half court, so they're lined up to see that play very easily. Good work by the officials.
Fourth foul against Howard. Armstrong hit a couple of jumpers so far. Tension at the post. King fading away the jumper, a little bit wild. Taylor goes up and over for the board.
I think Tanchen had an opportunity to turn to the basket and go one-on-one there.
Taylor the drive and the reach in by Green. That'll be the 7th foul against UMBC and send Howard to the line for a 1-and-1. Well, the winner of this game will face the number 1 seed in the Midwest, the Michigan Wolverines. On the other side of that bracket, Georgia and St. Louis, one of those surprise teams, you could say, out of the A-10. They've got terrific size and three-point shooting, and sneaking in there as a 9 seed this year.
Exactly. Michigan has a little size also, don't
Just
they?
a little bit, yeah. Hit every highlight with CBS Sports HQ, streaming free 24/7. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today, and you can catch more Jenny Dell on CBS Sports HQ. Jenny making her tournament debut, trading in the football cleats for some basketball sneakers here.
Great to have her on board.
And with both these teams coming in, the stories about the athletes, these coaches were so proud of the young men that they have on this year's team. They were a joy to coach, is what both these coaches said. Both Blakeney, Jim Ferry, 2 coaches looking for the first tournament wins of their career. Diggs, tough shot, bothered. Taylor, another rebound. Just over 8 minutes left here in the first half. First 4 action in Dayton, Ohio. A pair of 16 seeds. Errant pass, Diggs.
Yep,
Keep it in play.
Little slip cut didn't work.
For Howard, just their first turnover of the game comes at about 12 minutes in. Armstrong, oh, that's one small step for Armstrong as he picks up the foul.
Very nice. I caught what you did there too, by the way.
Timeout on the floor. UMBC and Howard.
Well, the big guy clears out the lane. He walks his way out to the right side. That leaves it wide open for the drive to the basket.
Back here with head coach Jim Ferry. Coach, this is a team built on defense. You've only caused 1 turnover. What needs to be adjusted?
Yeah, man, it looks like we left our legs on the bus, man. I mean, on a plane. Like, that's not my team. We look like we're playing so slow. We're not rotating the drives. We're not protecting the paint. Hopefully we'll get our second win right now, because this is what I was kind of concerned about, the fatigue factor. So hopefully we'll get our second win and grind through, because we are number 3 in the country in not fouling. And right now they're in the bonus already. So that's very abnormal for us, because we're not moving quickly to protect. So we'll make a couple adjustments and hopefully we'll fix it.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Well, if you ask a good question, you're going to get a good answer, aren't you? And that was a great answer to Jenny's question, because I'm not so sure he left the legs on the plane yesterday, but I think he's more concerned that they are not really defending the ball off the dribble. Let's see if they do a little better job of that.
Donis Kazakevicius checking in, number 13 for Howard. So the Bison looking for even more production from their bench.
Let's see if they continue. UMBC, get the legs moving.
Gillis stops on a dime. Akoje, open look for 3, Kansas.
How about Gillis? He got stuck in traffic just then in the middle of the floor, but recognized the left side of the floor again and getting some more mileage out of it.
Gillis with 3 assists, but chopping up this UMBC defense and responding on the other end. It's Tanchin.
Yeah, he could shoot the ball from long range. I think he's got to take 1 or 2 of those shots, hopefully make them for UMBC, and that'll open up the paint for some drives against the zone.
And the shot quality really improving for UMBC over the last couple of minutes. Kazakevicius, the baby hook, can't get it. Tanchin the rebound. I know you love that.
Baby Kareem.
Tanchin
All right, there you go.
Inside, Diggs slapped away, able to scoop it up. King, open look, off target. Gillis able to keep the feet just in bounds there, gets it back, looks to press. Gillis, excellent ball handling, cutting on the baseline. Shot is waved off. It'll be a foul on the floor.
So you get in trouble, you look to the opposite side, you get a wide open jumper from your teammate. And this is one that I think they have to hit right here. They have to make things happen from the corners with the big guy. And we look the other end. Yeah, that was clearly a foul before the play, the shot.
So Armstrong picks up his second foul, and Okoje from Brampton, Canada, had a huge role this season after just playing 25 games total over the last two. Can't hit the first free throw.
And has had a huge role in this game so far with double-digit points. Nice cut to the basket. Beauty.
Downing. Tough finish amongst the traffic.
Yeah, nice look too by Tanchin outside. We just talked about him getting away from the middle of the floor, and what are you going to get? You're going to get some drives and some cuts to the basket. Well designed, well executed. 7
assists for UMBC on 11 baskets. Harris, he can hit that off the heel, skying for the rebound. Okoje all over the place, picks up the foul and another two.
Has he ever given them a lift from the beginning of this game? Just the activity on the offensive glass, making so much happen. Seems like he's the only one going after the ball. Look at him. Truman coming in secondarily, but he goes and gets it. And what does he do? He doesn't wait to look to kick it out. He knows as he has a lane back to the basket. Nice little finish with the offensive glass.
It's the first foul on Diggs, 9th team foul against UMBC, and it's a baker's dozen for Okoje. Averages about 10.5 points per game already. Essentially 3 points beyond a Tanchin pump fake. You would have let that fly, wouldn't you?
Oh, sure. Not even think about it.
Strong take. Diggs can't complete it. Here come the Bison, thundering down the floor. Gillis rising, goes coast to coast for a deuce.
He had two teammates running with him, and they had to respect those two runners with him. But nice decision by Gillis to take it. Goes with it from the offensive glass, makes it happen. A little 6 spot on the board for Howard.
36-30 lead, Howard, as we take a look at the Wright brothers. And Jim, what'd you see here on this fast break?
Well, I see the little guy here who gets 4 rebounds a game. He takes it in flight down the floor. One of the things you want to look at is you want to pass the basketball and outlet it, but he does it all by himself with his speed. And I love the fact that he was looking a little to his left twice, just to bait the defenders to think he was going to give it up. Go to the middle. There you go. Now you go with it. There you go. You have a 3-on-2. They get a foul there.
And King went to go meet the basketball. That was the biggest thing right there, and that forced the foul. So 6th team foul against Howard. That one whistled against Taylor. And Jenny, you were listening in on that UMBC huddle. What'd you pick up?
Yeah, Coach Ferry, he said, you know what we look like right now? We look soft, and we're not soft. He said, get out there and grind out the next 5 minutes. The focus is playing tighter, tougher together, guys.
Thank you, Jenny. And for every team coming here, regardless of how familiar you are, there's an adjustment in the quick turnaround from your conference tournament to the first 4.
Yeah, and even if you make mistakes, to Jim Ferry's point and Jenny's point there, you want to keep playing hard. Even if you're making mistakes, he wants to see them go after a little bit more than what he thinks they've been doing.
Case in point, Tanchin gets the offensive rebound and picks up the foul. So now both teams in the bonus. So Okoje picking up his second, as Jose Tanchin, who earned gold in the under-18 championship challenger with Spain and leading this team in rebounds. When he's rebounding the ball and also spacing the floor to hit threes, that's when this retriever offense is looking its best.
Yeah, and he's had 10-plus rebounds in 8 out of the last 12 games, so he really knows how to go at it. Misses the 2, 70% free throw shooter too. Walked away from the line just a touch.
So no dividends on that end of the floor. Okoje stays in the game with 2 fouls and those 13 points. Gillis, well defended by King. Harris trying to post up. 10 to shoot. Bryson coming over for help. Shot clock winding down. Harris needs to make a play here. Whips the pass. Okoje fires it on Okoje. A little string music. He's got 16 first half points.
Maybe that's why Coach Blakeney kept him in with the 2 fouls, but I think after he goes under the 4 minutes, he may make a decision on that one to get him off the bench, or get him to the bench, I should say.
Howard wanted to travel over there.
Yep, there was a hand check going around the corner.
So an 8-0 run for Howard. One more look on the other end.
Now look at him. He's got his hands up, waiting to receive it. Pass is a little off target, which makes it a little bit more difficult to regather and get your shot off. What a start he's had with this game.
Bryson picking up his first personal, 18 foul against Howard as Diggs will head to the line. Caden Diggs, a sophomore, was the highest ranked recruit in Old Dominion program history. Played 35 games for them last year, but now heads over to UMBC, and we have
a Valentine.
A foul.
Yep. A little reach off that missed free throw.
With 4:09 remaining, both teams in the bonus. This is when you've got to be a little bit more conservative on those effort plays that might lead to whistles, I imagine.
Well, I think, just not to dwell on that point, you know, Kenny Blakely's team is playing very aggressively, but Tim Ferry's team, they stuck in a little deep snow in terms of the travel from yesterday. You know, you saw him talking to one of his assistants and pointing to his head like they're not thinking yet. He knows they're better in terms of their focus points.
And this is a team that hasn't lost since January 28th, undefeated in all of February, so far in March. And right now, Howard has built an 11-point lead. Harris knocks down 2 free throws. He's got 7 points to go along with 3 rebounds and 2 assists.
Now, Howard has given them everything they can handle at both ends of the floor.
We just haven't seen Valentine and Armstrong really impose their will offensively. It's going through a lot of the reserve players right now for the Retrievers.
Yeah, now against a man-to-man, a little bit of handle coming to the basket, but just can't knock anything down off the dribble.
Harris ushers it down the floor, dumps it off to Cotton. Cotton down the lane, picks up another foul.
There's an example of playing more aggressively, and Cotton that time just willing his body towards the big guy. And so far, so good for Howard because they really have a rhythm going at the offensive end.
You're watching True TV's exclusive coverage of the first 4 games built by the Home Depot. Our game summary, Howard leads by 11 in the Bison, getting it done with the offensive glass, and Okoje having a great first half.
Yeah, second chance points with 8, but 11 for 14. So with these free throws coming up, they will have a double on the free throw attempts.
And we heard Jim Ferry say, feels like we don't have our legs underneath us. We heard about their travel woes yesterday, sat on the plane for 4 hours, had the last practice of the evening, the quick turnaround as Cotton rolls in the first free throw. And UMBC, a team that averages just 13.3 fouls per game, has 11 already in the first half. They had 8 total in their win over Vermont in that America East title game.
Yeah, I would not focus on UMBC 100% on that with the problems. I have to give credit to Howard with the way they came out and really challenged off the dribble. They challenged, remember we talked about it earlier in this game, how they were challenging people to go to the basket, the left side of the floor.
It's now a 12-0 run for Howard.
And with the man-to-man defense, now somebody has to put this on the floor to make things happen.
King for 3, crown him.
You just get one dribble and you shift some defenders away from the shooters.
UMBC 50% from the field with 8 assists. Bryson stops on a dime, floats it in.
And where do they continue to test? They're testing the waters constantly.
You highlighted that left block and how Howard has just been able to get there consistently throughout the first half.
And I think that was Jim Ferry's point earlier, too. We're not getting really good rotations to help out on that side of the floor.
Reversal from Diggs into the hands of Valentine. Strong dribble drive with the left. Valentine, deep 3. Tapped alive by Diggs. Valentine scurries to the ball.
Yeah, good work by Valentine, not vacating that area.
King, baseline, goes window. King now with 10 points to lead UMBC.
And they're showing a little bit of a flat man-to-man right now. Let's see if it stays with It looks like it's going to stay with the zone here.
Howard 4 for their last 4. Harris flashing.
That makes sense because you're a little confused with what to do with the ball just then. Go to the hoop right now.
Jacobs in transition. Oh, closes the lid and picks up the foul.
How about the transition, though? Throw a different defense at Howard. Make them decide on what they're going to do, what they're going to run. Here's the steal, and watch him fill this side of the floor. Bang. One dribble and finish it off.
Coach Ferry talked about Riley Jacobs. He will do a couple of things on the floor every game that'll make you raise your eyebrows, and that right there will put some juice in the legs for UMBC.
That wasn't bad there. He didn't leave the legs on the plane.
Hits the free throw, so what a response here from UMBC to trim the lead to 5 with just over 2 minutes left here in the first half.
They'll stick with this zone. Let's see if they can float somebody to the middle of the floor. Right here is where the money is made, and then you're going to look to the baseline if you catch it in there.
Gillis, the lob, oh, Bryson! Taking an elevator to the top.
They slowly ran somebody towards the middle. The reaction came towards the middle of the floor, and they go right over it.
King to the corner, they whip it around. Armstrong for 3, nearly got it, can't put it back. Jacobs was right there.
He sure was. He just missed that. If he had that another 10 times, he'd knock all 10 of them down.
Gillis collapses the defense. How good has Bryson been off the bench? A spark plug for the Bison, 9 points. Ten to shoot. Gillis draws 2. Harris inside, turn around, can't get it.
Yeah, pretty good reaction with the speed. They're playing a little faster in the zone than they were man-to-man.
King spinning, he's hurried. Bad shot, Harris the rebound. Bryson attacking baseline, reverses it. Gillis poised, under control, spinning, scooping, it's short. But a foul on the rebound attempt against Howard. We'll stay tuned for AT&T at the half with Adam Lefko, Bruce Pearl, Jamal Mashburn, Jalen Rose, and Seth Davis live from Atlanta with analysis of the first half.
And both of these coaches are jockeying back and forth. And watch this, you go into the middle, but they bring the defenders away, and then the baseline opens up. 2 great ways to score against the zone, executed perfectly.
Gillis with 4 assists as Armstrong is able to hit the free throw. And Armstrong coming over from Odessa College, played there in 2022-23, and a guy that has worked his way up from Division II and has now been a star here for UMBC as he splits a pair. Under a minute left, Howard, the 8-point lead, champions of the MEAC, came out strong, attacking on the offensive glass and in the paint here in the first half. Gillis already with 4 dimes. Shot clock at 6.
Jacobs is playing just a one-man zone in the middle, 4 other guys man-to-man.
Bryson, baseline jumper. Oh, he has been professional off the bench. 11 points for Bryson, the surprise star of this game so far.
Yeah, they averages only about 9 points a game, so really giving them a terrific lift, especially when you go baseline again against the man-to-man attention out front.
Howard with the 10-point lead, 23.4 seconds remaining for UMBC. You're going to face this press here. What are you looking for the last quality shot of this half?
More times than not, what you want to do is go into the halftime no worse than where you are right now with the last shot. So here comes the 2-2-1. When you get to about 7 seconds or so, you got to make something happen. So we're getting close.
10 seconds left. Game clock winding down.
Now you have to go.
Downing, right through the defense, up with the left, takes the contact. Able to finish it, and that'll do it for the first half. Howard with an 8-point lead. UMBC striking right before the horn, but a high-quality matchup here in Dayton.
Yeah, 2 things were great here. They used the clock exceptionally well in terms of putting it on the floor and making it happen. And then all of a sudden, they didn't allow enough time for Howard to go down the other end with the ball either.
Jenny Dell is standing by with Osi Akoje.
Kicking things off in the NCAA tournament with 16 points. What's working for you?
Honestly, just keeping attacking and trusting my teammates. They trust me to have the ball, and I just lead them like that, and we play together.
You guys are shooting over 50% from the field. How do you keep this offense clicking?
Just by moving the ball and ball movement. You know, I mean, no one's bigger than the team, so just keep ball movement and body movement what our coach preaches. So that's how we're going to keep it going.
Great start. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Jenny. That's the end of the first half with the score, 49-41. We'll send you to the AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Let's take a look at the first half stats built by the Home Depot. The free throw differential, Howard knocking them down, 13 of 16 for UMBC, the most points they've allowed in a half this season. Jordan Kent alongside Jim Spinarca. We'll hear from Jenny Dell here in just a moment. But Jim, Howard's ability to get into and live in the paint in the first half really set the tone.
Yeah, Jordan, I thought one of the things they did really well is they came out with an aggressive nature, dribbling the ball towards the paint, getting it on the left side of the floor. Once they found out that it worked once or twice or three times, then they just kept going to the well, and it paid off pretty good in the dividends for them.
Moments ago, Jenny Dale caught up with DJ Armstrong from UMBC.
DJ, how do you tighten things up defensively in the second half?
Just staying more connected, having a more tighter approach to the game, not getting strung out on defense. I felt there was a couple times where we were a little late on the rotation. I think we put that together and we'll be good in the second half.
What was the message within the team?
Just enjoy it. I mean, just be us. Just be us. You know, we've gotten here doing exactly what we've done for the whole season, whole year. So just staying with us and you know, trusting in what we've done. It works.
Thank you so much for your time, DJ.
UMBC with a 12-game winning streak. It's the second longest in the nation. We heard head coach Jim Ferry say, I don't think we had our legs in the first half during that 10-minute timeout. Second part of that first half, it felt like they got a little bit more life.
Yeah, I think DJ Armstrong is right on the money when he says, you know, what are we going to do? Break it all up at this stage of the year? Just do it. We've done all season long. Be more aggressive with it, though.
Armstrong checked by Gillis.
I think everybody's got to get some touches on the first couple of possessions.
King, tough shot, sinks it over traffic.
And that's exactly what they need for King to get a little untracked. He's obviously the leader of this team, but if he can hit a couple of his tough shots, that'll awaken the beast.
He was scoreless in the conference tournament championship game. He's leading UMBC with 12 points now. Akoje, the three, continues to pile it on. 19 now.
I think one of the best things that Kenny Blakely did in that first half was get him out of the game with 3 minutes, because he had 2 fouls, and now he can play really free. If he had a third foul, it would be a little more difficult.
King, the 1-2 step, bounces out though.
That was the beauty of a quick step.
Cotton can't connect. Fighting for the rebound. It's Harris down low. Once, twice, able to get it to drop.
Wow, just the work on the glass by Harris. I don't know how he missed that first one. I don't think he was contested. Just maybe slipped out of his hands for a moment.
8 offensive rebounds for Howard to just 3 for UMBC. Armstrong lets it fly, no good. Tanchin, nice rebound down low.
Yeah, notice where he was when he got that rebound. He was on the inside. He's supposed to be on the outside with somebody blocking him away from the basket. Not that trip, though.
Bothered down low, that'll be a foul against Odunawo, his third personal. The bracket is finally here, and it's time to lock in your picks with the official bracket game of NCAA March Madness. Play Capital One's NCAA March Madness Men's Bracket Challenge today at play.ncaa.com or in the March Madness Live app. All the attention from Akoje. You continue to forget that Taylor and Harris, who combined for 34 points a game, are still prowling on the offensive end.
Yeah, one of the things about this type of game, too, is that you look at the stats and you say, well, these guys who are leading scorers, will they step up and make things happen? And sometimes it doesn't always happen, so it's where your supporting cast comes in to help them out.
10-point lead for Howard at the moment. In the full court press, you saw UMBC get a little bit more comfortable with it. Both teams combined for just 4 total turnovers in the first half.
And they're switching it up a little bit. They've gone to a full court man-to-man just to take some time off the clock also.
Valentine inside, Odunawo kicks it back out. Armstrong cut off on the drive. Great on-ball defense. Shot clock at 4. King lets it rip. Oh, nothing but nylon.
Oh, we had a great look at that, didn't we? Right over his left shoulder, watching that one. Beautiful rotation on the ball, but that was a big, big shot to keep them back instead of losing some of this momentum.
King, 2 of 3 here in the second half, has gotten a trio of excellent looks. Taylor fighting for the shot. Rebound to Armstrong, jostled down low. That'll be a foul against Taylor.
Jordan, if we go way back to the beginning of this game, that same drive on the left side, they were having money on it. But watch this, you have to handle the basketball. He fumbles it for a second, knows the shot clock is there. You can see down to 3. Great reaction by their leader.
It's the 3rd foul on Cedric Taylor. He stays in the game.
See if they can get a backdoor cut out of this at some point.
Beautiful dish. Armstrong elevates. No whistle. Defended well by Howard.
Got some numbers if they hurry.
Gillis inside, uses his body, able to go window shopping.
And how about that little ride against Tanchin, just then running the floor. Little guy against the big guy. You have an advantage if he's moving, the big guy.
Gillis so patient when he gets right near the cup to get those finishes with a strong base.
That's it, drive it to the basket, make it happen.
Tanchin up and over, can't get the bounce, and a rebound to Harris. Gillis again looking to attack, gets the shoulder. Gillis swatted by King, out of bounds.
Pretty nice pace to start this second half off. And watch Gillis maneuver. There's what I was talking about before. You see how he glided himself into the big guy to take the block shot out of the picture? And he was trying to pick up a foul just then, but well defended.
Cotton curling, that'll be a kick ball by King. Both these coaches, Jim Ferry and Kenneth Blakeney, looking for their first ever NCAA tournament win. Howard has never won a game in the NCAA tournament. Cotton, no good. King brings it down, pestered by Gillis in transition. Doesn't have numbers, nearly loses it out of bounds. Harris the steal, the dish to Gillis. Gillis back out to Harris, transition 3. Oh, he got it!
Well, Gillis that trip making very good decisions, bringing it down the floor. You just got to wait for guys to get in scoring position, and that's exactly what he does. They get it, they go the other way, and then look at him look back. Number 34 in your picture, Harris, letting it rip.
Welcome back to Dayton as we continue this first 4. And how about this? 2 teams making their first ever debut in the NCAA tournament. Dayton hosting the 142nd tournament game of all time. And then on this day, you were in one of these seats as St. Peter's upset number 2 Kentucky.
Yes, St. Peter's University from Jersey City, New Jersey, where I happened to grow up. They had such a run.
You said their gym's about a 10-minute walk from where you live?
Exactly. Kentucky, Murray State, and Purdue all went down to St. Peter's University on that trip.
You got to watch out for the Peacocks, I'm telling you.
What a fabulous ride that was for them.
Tanchin, shot clock winding down. King has been the busy man this half for UMBC. Armstrong's got to put it up. Armstrong rattles it home.
They keep finding a bucket when they need one. This scary part about it, when they get down 13, it goes to 16, 17, they're going to have some problems with it, keeping it right at double digits here.
And Jim, it feels like they're having to work so hard for those shots. They're coming late in the shot clock.
Yeah, those little bit of like bailout shots on the offensive sequences.
Harris, who's been excellent so far, the last couple of minutes, bulldozes his way to the rim.
Tanchin really not a factor defensively that trip. A little too quick for him off the dribble.
Harris now with his 9th double-double of the season, 14 points, 10 rebounds. He is the heart and soul of this team. Bryce Harris, the MEAC Player of the Year, showing up when it counts the most. 14 points, 10 rebounds, and the Bison lead here in Dayton. We're taking it all in here at Dayton. 63-51 lead for Howard. The Bison looking for their first ever NCAA tournament win. Well, That's Dan Gavitt, Senior Vice President of Men's Basketball. And sitting alongside him is Keith Gill, the chair of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Committee. And I have to say, Jim, you've been doing this a few more years than I have. It felt like this was the least amount of grumbling, you might say, after the bracket came out.
I would agree with you. It kind of seemed to fall into place a little easier. And they always, in my opinion, do a great job. There are years when people do think they deserve to be in when they can't be in, but I think overall they do a fabulous job.
Valentine absorbing the contact, picks up the foul. 2 free throws coming his way. I was speaking with Dan Gavitt, and I asked him, all these years you do this, what is your favorite part about this? He said it's just seeing how the matchups develop. Something like we see here today, 2 schools and coaches looking for their first tournament win, playing high-level basketball, coming in here on a quick turnaround, able to put out this kind of product.
And I mentioned to Dan, and you usually do that with a pretty good seat. And he said, yeah, more times than not, I have a pretty good seat for these games.
Ace Valentine, named to the America East All-Conference second team. Misses the second. That last foul was on Cotton. 3rd team foul against Howard.
They got to get a couple of consistent stops off the dribble. Howard's been pretty effective putting it on the floor one-on-one, and they have the isolations.
Long 3, it's good for Cotton, who's able to knock down another one.
Well, whenever UMBC looks like they're going to make a little bit of dent in this lead, Howard comes back and gets a wide open shot.
Howard shooting 54% from 3. A tussle for the Orange and a travel ruled against Caden Diggs. And that'll be Howard ball.
So here they don't get real good defensive reaction, and Howard just keeps taking advantage of it.
And Diggs falling down on the other end. One of the rare turnovers for UMBC. Okoje down low. That's a pass to Valentine. The Retrievers will fetch it down the other way.
Gotta slow it down right now, but make sure you get a good shot down 14 points. They need to find some rhythm offensively.
Critical couple of minutes for UMBC. They go to their king, who's fouled on the take.
Good decision by King. A little out of control, but he gets the results he wants to get to the free throw line.
Correction. Fouls on Bryce Harris, his second.
Fouls on Harris, his second.
King at the line, shooting 2.
So King at the line for 2. King with 15 points, 2 assists. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. A couple of terrific 1 seeds in the women's tournament. UConn, UCLA playing at an incredibly high level there, and the winner of this game will go on to take another powerhouse.
Wow, yes.
Number 1 seed Michigan in Buffalo.
Yes, they will.
Our good friend Brian Anderson will be on the call for that one with Jim Jackson and Allie LaForce. Of course, Brian Anderson will have the call of the second game after us. Texas, NC State, along with Charles Barkley and Dick Vitale. Kick ball on the floor. That'll be Howard ball. And Okoje a little slow to get up, favoring what appears to maybe be that right ankle.
That's the last thing they need with him getting injured.
Yeah, you see it.
Yep.
Armstrong just rolls on it. He'll stay in the game, though.
A pretty good cut to the basket just then. No indication that he's struggling with it.
Okoje has been the ace for the Bison. Gillis. Trap comes in on him. Collapses. Gillis fishes it out. Taylor for 3. Can't connect.
I love the way Gillis makes something out of nothing just then. He was squeezed, double teamed, and patiently gets a good shot out of it to a teammate.
Odunawo flares it over to King. King another drive, tries to create some separation. Long shot, misses everything. Diggs with the rebound, 10 to shoot. Diggs, strong take to the cup, up with the left.
Diggs read this shot, the air ball, very well. It's hard to rebound from a defensive standpoint on an air ball because it throws the timing off. But Diggs worked his way over to that right corner.
UMBC still getting out-rebounded by 10 in this game.
I think that's just a little bit more energetic play from the beginning of this game with Howard. Could use a stop here right now for UMBC. There you go, little step in off.
King can't get it. He gambles. Numbers now for the Bison. A fastball. Okoje able to keep it in and out. Odunawo the rebound. Up ahead.
2 seconds on the clock. Good pass up ahead here.
Armstrong to the corner. Diggs thought about it. He's fouled on the drive. Discipline from Diggs there. The bench wanted him to shoot that three. He was patient to put it on the deck.
I may have wanted the guy, I forget who it was on the left there. It happened so quickly for the layup there. Armstrong was on the left. Why not take a shot at the going to the basket and get to the line?
10-point lead for Howard. 12:33 left in this game.
There you go. Good cut. Good. Pretty. Very nicely done.
Diggs the finish at the rim, and now UMBC with some momentum. Howard trying to take it back. Their best player tonight, Okoje, with 4 fouls, still staying in the game.
Yeah, that's a big risk at 12, especially up 10 points.
I'm surprised they don't pull him out at this moment. Harris cut off on the drive. You get the sense UMBC, critical stop for them. Taylor can't get it. Rebound, Odunawo.
Yeah, the other thing, too, with Okoje with his possible ankle injury, too.
And that's out of bounds on UMBC. Howard ball.
And I think they're going to make a substitution for him with Bryson coming in after this next break in the action.
You're watching True TV's exclusive coverage of the first 4 games built by the Home Depot. 8-point lead for Howard, and they've been led by O.C. Okoje, who has been sensational.
He's done everything for this team. Really gave them a beautiful lift in that first half with his activity both at the defensive end and his excitement on the offensive end. Right now sitting on 4 fouls and also sitting on the bench.
19 points for him. After Howard took their largest lead of 14 points, it's been a 6-0 UMBC run. It's been spurred on by their defense and rebounding. And that's a travel on Taylor. That'll give it right back to the Retrievers.
And I think it makes sense to keep him on the bench for a little period of time. With this lead that they have, you obviously can't take a risk over the next couple of minutes, so probably not going to see him till around an 8-minute mark, I would guess, unless the lead shrinks.
Let's check back in with Jenny Dell. You were listening in on that UMBC huddle.
I was. Coach Ferry said we're not going to make this up with one basket. We'll make it up by shooting a lot in a row. He said to clear your head to his team. He told the guys you have a lot more to give, and we still have plenty of time on the clock, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. And the last 2 possessions have been empty for UMBC. They had a turnover 2 possessions ago. Now the jump ball that favors Howard.
And Jenny, that's the one thing that'll drive a coach crazy. You get the strategy out, and then they turn it over twice.
Gillis, what a find to Cotton. Able to pack it in.
Cotton continues to find open spots on the floor to allow him to catch the ball easily on the delivery.
I am so impressed by the decision-making from Gillis. He goes full speed, but plays so under control at the critical points. Downing the drive, takes the contact, sinks the floater.
Maybe we're looking at one of these little 3-minute runs right now where guys will burst back and forth. Here's your point right here, Jordan. Fast, quick, and delivers it right on the money. And then on the other side, work your way in, get the shoulders in front of your defender, flip it up. You never know what's going to happen.
So Downing went to the free throw line. That last foul was on Bryce, and it's the 6th team foul against Howard. Just 1 team foul for UMBC. Keep in mind, the Retrievers, as the free throw's no good, commit the 2nd fewest fouls per game in the country.
That average was affected in the first half, though, wasn't it?
It's bad front 9, let's just put it that way.
Exactly.
Harris on the perimeter. UMBC still tracking their men. Harris wants to pound it. Defense collapses, kicks it out. 8 to shoot for Gillis. Gillis, Taylor, bends, shoots, no good.
And the last couple of possessions, other than Gillis, nobody else really convincing me that they want to do something and go to the basket with it or score with the basketball.
Diggs, he's in attack mode, fading away, feathers in a beautiful J.
How about him coming across too, getting body to body, and then that extension to go backwards. Nice lift. And with that shot, you have to put a little bit more oomph under that ball.
10-3 UMBC run. Brown down low over to Gillis. Gillis can't connect, downing the rebound.
Notice that UMBC is helping better on the weak side with the drives to the basket. They're closing in. They did not do that in the first 7 minutes of this game.
Can the Retrievers string together positive possessions on the offensive end?
Just don't want to rush a shot.
Diggs, hand checked and foul. 1-and-1 coming, and Diggs, you see.
He's got some ability, doesn't he?
His leg certainly came back from the fight.
So here's, watch the separation. Have to fall away just enough so that attempted block doesn't get on the bottom of the ball.
That's the 4th foul on Cedric Taylor, the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. So the foul's becoming an issue with nearly 10 minutes left in this game.
He hasn't this flipped from the first half.
The top 16 teams in the NHL will compete for the oldest trophy in North American sports. The Stanley Cup playoffs begin April 19th on TNT, TBS, True TV, and HBO Max. Look who comes into the game. Osi Okoje with 4 fouls. Do you like the gamble here?
Well, his partner has foul problems also, so, you know, they're not deep, this team, so who do you go to? I mean, you have to by default. It's just risky, though, in terms of putting him on the floor, but he is a senior, so that's one thing that factors into that. But he's got to play 75% energy now, not 100%.
Gillis. Harris, his 3. Oh, that is so good from up top. The senior leader when they desperately need a bucket.
And the one thing about that, too, Jordan, is Tanchen was guarding him, but he's not coming all the way out to defend him. So you have an open shot. Maybe they'll run that again and watch for him to drive by him if he comes all the way out to guard that.
It feels as though when UMBC cuts it to 2 or 3 possessions, Howard responds. Tanchen up and over with the sky hook.
You just can't give him a couple of dribbles, because what he's doing there is he's setting himself up offensively to push the defender towards the middle of the floor, and then that little loft going to the right side.
Howard 9 of 19 from 3. Very efficient from beyond the arc.
I see Tanchen's coming out. That's opening up the floor a little bit for drives.
Brown the turnover, UMBC ball.
See the defensively right there. He's way back. He's not far enough out. He came out a little further that last possession, so don't be surprised to see Harris go by him.
You wonder if Diggs will try to attack Okoje if he gets a chance. Downing trips, able to get it out to Armstrong.
That's a good pass right there, because he was going nowhere except to the floor.
Diggs, rise, fire, knocks it down.
All of a sudden, Howard may want to talk things over here. You know, you have a media timeout coming too. Kenny Whiteley up there directing traffic over on the sidelines. A huge, huge possession right here for Howard.
Howard led by as many as 14. It's evaporated to 5.
See how they're a little bit stagnant right now? Shot clock winding down.
Harris looking to go ISO, can't get it. The follow, no good. Diggs.
That's what I meant before. He's going to lure Tanchen out and then drive past him.
Diggs, the travel. Costly turnover when it felt like everything was rolling. But the Retrievers, tails are wagging, shots are falling. They've made this a 2-possession game. And Dayton, as both these coaches looking for their first ever tournament win, starting to come down to the wire here in the first 4. Let's check out our game summary. The bench points have really helped UMBC get back into this game. But for Howard, they are still led by their leader, Bryce Harris.
17 points a game on average this season. Really doing well on the glass. 10 rebounds in this game. Just a terrific effort. And I would anticipate to see this drive right there. I would think they're going to try to isolate him against Tanchen just a little bit at that defensive end of the floor.
And Jenny Dell, you've got more on Harris.
Yeah, he gave some perspective that really struck. He said happiness is in the progression of the process, the work that it takes to get there. And he's really lived that. You guys mentioned he played just 7 games last season. He suffered that season-ending foot and ankle injury last November against UNBC. And he told me that setback deepened his appreciation for the journey back. His coaches said that it's really taken time to fully trust his body again, but they've challenged him to embrace the urgency of this moment with maturity and purpose, guys.
That's so good, Jenny, and it's poetic that they're taking on UMBC here. And the fact that he doesn't have to do it all by himself on the floor, you've got a Koje that has just been terrific all night long, that has allowed Harris to play free.
And I have to say, with that drive to the basket, that was a terrific call by Kenny Blakeney over there as the coach. He can hit this.
Tanshin, no good. Harris gobbles up another rebound. That's 12 for him.
Another important possession for both teams here. Howard can keep the momentum going. And see if UMBC can slow them down a touch.
Taylor looking for Harris down low on the cut, regathers. Taylor up top, left all alone, can't connect. Ball pops free. Cotton over to Gillis.
Lawrence didn't slide back enough.
Taylor, the drive, has the size advantage. Tanshin gets the branches up.
Whoa, watch out.
O'Dunawo wasn't looking. I know you were, Jim. You never take your eyes off of basketball.
I was getting ready to duck. See if they can get back to the motion. Back to go into the basket with the ball.
O'Dunawo, the 4 fouls on Koje. Koje has to be careful. King catch and shoot. No good. O'Dunawo chasing it. Saves it into the hands of the Bison. Koje attacking the cup. Can't connect. King skies for the board.
They have numbers coming this way now.
Pack of retrievers hustling down the floor. O'Dunawo, offensive foul, and a primal scream from Gillis.
Great timing by Gillis just then. Recognized the numbers coming down. Let's see if he's... Yeah, he's established. It's a good call.
And it's the 4th foul on O'Dunawo. So Tanshin will step out. O'Dunawo stays on the floor. So there are, at the moment, 3 players with 4 fouls staying on the court. O'Dunawo holding that left wrist as well, too.
He had the ankle bothering the floor.
King's got to be careful. That'll be a foul. Number 4 against UMBC. King picks up his first.
But that allows them to play a little bit more aggressively. I don't know about that foul right there, but Jim Ferry's team can play a little bit more aggressive. He made that comment to Jenny about his team just doesn't foul that much. In the first half, they were fouling almost, it seemed like, every single play.
It's a 12-game winning streak for UMBC. They have not lost since late January. Howard riding an 8-game winning streak. The Bison looking for their first ever NCAA tournament win. Loose ball into the hands of the Retrievers as Diggs pulls it out.
A tough pass that Gillis tried to make just then. The thought was good, but there wasn't enough room. See if Diggs tries to jump over something.
Diggs spinning! Oh, he lost him. Can't complete the highlight. Loose ball. Gillis, who else? Harris works it around. Taylor open. Look, cashes in.
There's that rhythm again at their end after that missed shot.
Harris, 17 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. Valentine the drive. Diggs got a little tied up. Valentine calling for it in the corner. Attacks the closeout. Lost it off his foot. Diving on the floor is Cotton. Koje down the court. Koje picks up the foul against King. That'll be his second, 5th team foul against UMBC.
Well, here's the one they needed to drop right here. Shakes the defender, just hits it off the front. And what does Howard do? They come right back and answer with the 3 ball. Oh, boy.
And a foul against Taylor. They're going to get Diggs. The fouls all of a sudden piling up for the Retrievers. That's their 6th team foul as Taylor will head to the line.
They went to from 2 to 6 in a hurry just then. In about a minute and a half, it seemed like.
You have to give tremendous credit for the way that Taylor and Koje are playing right now with these 4 fouls being so effective on the offensive end.
That's why I think at the other end you have to, they've started, UMBC has started to drive towards the basket and looking for the kickouts.
Watch Anthony Davis prank the biggest names in the sports world on the all-new series Foul Play with Anthony Davis, premiering April 6th only on TBS. I have a feeling there might be some highbrow humor there from Anthony Davis. 12-point lead for the Bison. The winner of this game will face the #1 seed in the Midwest, the Michigan Wolverines, Thursday in Buffalo.
Let's see if they drive the basketball and try to finish at the rim rather than kicking out a little bit. I know the teams like to shoot their way back.
Armstrong still can't buy a bucket. Bit of a dry spell for him. Loose ball. Bodies on the floor. Scooped up by the Bison.
2-on-1 if they hurry.
Gillis, eyes on the floor. Oh, can't complete the lob of Kojay. Pass was just a little too low.
And they had the run out if they wanted it.
Desperation time sinking in soon for UMBC. Valentine.
Yeah, that's what they need to be doing a little bit more. There's plenty of time here with 4:25 left. Drive and try to finish. Stop the clock a little bit and get to the line.
It's the 3rd foul against Harris, 8th team foul against Howard, and a chance to just slow things down for UMBC as Valentine will step up for the free throws.
77%. They need a couple to go through the hoop right this time.
Averages about 12 points per game, sitting at 7 now, 2 of 4. Hasn't had too many clean looks, just with how well Howard's been defending the perimeter this game.
Yeah, had a great tournament too. Averaged about 17 points a game.
Sticks the second. 10-point game, 4:25 left. Gillis, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, has orchestrated this highly efficient offense all night long. Gillis eyes the double team. Mouse in the house, dishes it out. Taylor, he was ready to load.
Somebody got it down low though.
UMBC forces the steal. Armstrong, tough shot. Diggs up and over for the rebound. Valentine, they could use this one. It's good.
That is the big one right there, the answer. You get your bench up, everybody's cheering for them. Well, this is one of those borderline possessions. Who's going to win this possession right here will dictate how this game starts to drift. Watch the backdoor cuts too, because they are playing really high, forcing the action to the perimeter.
Gillis, shot clock winding down. 1-2 step. Gillis, oh, float game is strong. Every time Howard needs a play, a big one, they go to their mightiest player in Cam Gillis. 7 assists, 8 points, but play after play all night long. There he is, the Chuckster, 81-72 lead for Howard. Charles Barkley talking to the Texas team, and listen, what a collection of scorers, well, 2 scorers here, I should say, Jim.
Well, I'm telling you, Charles, I don't think you could have stopped me in the heyday. Maybe.
I think if I had 1 or 2 more games, I might have caught you, Jim. So, I got to ask you, such a prolific scorer, where did you feel the most comfortable on the court?
Well, you know, I was lucky. I played with a bunch of good guys on our team. We went to the 78 finals and lost to Jack Gibbons. I'll give Jack some credit, 41 points. But, you know, the overall team way that we played, it was just a whole lot of fun. And we were caught the country by surprise. And that's what one of these teams right here are trying to do, catch everybody by surprise, get something going, especially UMBC.
My excuse was I was more of a football guy. Shot clock winding down. Armstrong draws 2. Valentine, his 3, no good, checked up, and another rebound for Harris. 14 on the night for him.
The blockouts are perfect. 1 and done.
Just under 3 minutes left to play. Howard with a 9-point lead, looking for their first ever NCAA tournament victory. The winner of this game facing #1 seed Michigan in Buffalo later this week. Taylor can't connect. Who else? A Kojay with the putback.
Beautiful isolation for Taylor just then too. Just basically missed the shot with the cleanup. What a game that Kojay has been playing.
A new career high for him, 23 points when it matters the most. Gillis, who they oftentimes put on the team's best perimeter player, has pitched a masterpiece so far tonight. Valentine, late pass, Diggs, pump fake, Diggs elevating, nice finish.
Yeah, they had to get a bucket there. Good timeout also to regroup a little bit. And UMBC trying to figure this out in the last 2 minutes or so.
Welcome back, Howard with the 9-point lead. Possession arrow favors UMBC. 1 timeout remaining for the Retrievers, 2 for Howard. And let's send it down to Jenny Dell, who is listening in on one of the huddles.
Yeah, I was listening in on one of the huddles. He was just talking about Coach Blakeney, who was saying just really focus on having great body movement. He told his guys we're built for this. But guys, just something I took away from our conversation with him yesterday. I mean, he is just so proud of this team and so proud of this program. He said Howard is about so much more than just basketball. This program prides itself on producing men of purpose. They carry a 3.4 GPA. They lead community initiatives this season. They even adopted a local DC school. So this program is really built on so much more than just this game.
And Jenny, along with that, and Jim, we talked about it, they really want the student body to be a part of the experience of watching this basketball team be successful, and what a treat it is for them right now as they're about 1:30 away from their first NCAA tournament win. Shot clock winding down. Gillis has to heave it, nearly made it. Okoje can't get it. Odunuwo up ahead to Armstrong.
Got to keep moving it towards the hoop. Go up with it.
Armstrong. 3 players collapse on him, and he took a shot to the face, and a whistle comes in against Howard.
But that initial drive to the basket, he had a little bit of a seam to go quickly with it. Hope he's okay. See, right there, 2 guys backed off him if he just spun back to the basket. He may have taken a couple of shots in that sequence just then.
Yeah, it's the 4th foul on Bryce Harris.
There might be the 2nd one, maybe the 3rd one. 3rd shot puts him to the floor, I guess.
So Harris picks up his 4th foul. Armstrong, slow to get up.
And you look at the series
under review for a possible flagrant 1.
So a lot of times they're reviewing as far as the contact to the head or face area. And what do you think here?
I think he's bending down, so I think it neutralizes it to my eye.
Well, let's bring in Gene Steratore for his debut for this year's tournament. Gene, what do you see?
Yeah, guys, I think you're right on that. Anytime you've got contact, as you said, to that head or neck area and see a reaction, you're going to go take a look just to be, just to be sure. To me, it's just a reach in by Harris, an inadvertent thumb. It looks like her hand to the eye there of the player. I don't think there's anything that rises to the level of a flagrant foul. Just definitely a common foul, but no flagrant there.
Yeah, Gene, isn't that one of those plays where when the offensive guy just starts to bend and move and shake around, sometimes it's almost inadvertent, if you will.
UMBC
Most definitely.
1-1.
Yeah, Jimmy, and I think, look, anytime a player reacts like that, goes down, and he's not embellishing that, you're going to take the safe approach, take the 30 seconds to a minute, take a look at it, and get the thing right. And I think they did a good job there doing that.
Yep, I agree.
Thank you, Gene. Ruled a common foul, so it'll be Armstrong heading to the free throw line, and came off a season-high 33 points in that America East Tournament final. Has 12 points, 4 of 10 shooting, 2 of 7 from outside, so hasn't been able to find the same stroke that he did. But now you've got 3 players with 4 fouls, the 3 front court leaders for Howard, Okoje, Taylor, and Harris each.
Yeah, but if you're UMBC, this is going to be right off to the make. Let's see what they do. They have to extend and force some action, take some gambles.
7-point lead for Howard. They flip it ahead to Taylor. He chases it down. Cotton back to Taylor. UMBC flying around on defense. Diggs will commit the foul on Gillis.
It's kind of in no man's land there when you're three possessions down, 7 points. You can make the argument that you want to go into the foul because the seconds on the clock are so much more important to preserve them if you're UMBC.
Yeah, it's still a 3-possession game at that point. You just want to elongate this game as much as you can. So Gillis, a 77% free throw shooter, 8 points, 7 assists. No good on the first.
That's a big miss. Get it and go now.
So a chance for UMBC. They need to strike quick here. Under a minute left. Diggs the drive. 3 players with 4 fouls, and that's going to be a foul against Taylor. His night will be done, and Diggs will go to the free throw line.
And I like the way Diggs did not just force something up. It was a little bit off balance when he took this shot eventually, but watch him get in there. He's not panicking, turns his body towards it and comes back, and that's his drift shot that he loves to shoot and almost gets it to fall. Just hits it a little too short.
Cedric Taylor's night is done, finishes with 16.6 rebounds. Now you wonder if they'll be able to break the press as cleanly now. They go to the bench, they bring in Isaiah Brown, another ball handler.
Well, the important part is to get to the point of putting on a press, and that just means you have to hit the two free throws here, especially the second one. 77% or so.
Diggs now 15 points. That's his highest total since February 19th. It's a 5-point game, 53.4 remaining.
Here comes the blitz. Whoa, watch out.
Valentine collapses on top of Diggs, and the good display of sportsmanship there as Gillis led to the free throw line.
And actually not all that bad because you're out of position to begin with, right? But you don't take much time off the clock, so it kind of, you play the game. It might, if he goes to the line and misses one of these, one shot, it's a good foul.
Again, you're only at 8 fouls, so it's still 1-1. Here's the big one for Gillis.
Yep.
No good, rebounded Diggs.
Comes a great foul right now.
Back-to-back misses on the front end for Howard.
Same message.
Armstrong, contested triple. Oh, he strikes again! 2-point game, 43.2 remaining. The Retrievers in hot pursuit.
Have to give credit to UMBC. They did not quit at all. Here's this little pullback jumper. Does he get behind the line? It looks like he does to me. He had to drag that second foot back. Here comes the first one. The right one goes back. Generally that lefty, the left foot, the righty, the right foot will slide forward and hit the line, but he pulled it back perfectly just then.
DJ Armstrong in that championship game against Vermont had 3 monster threes down the stretch to close things out, and this completely changes what you do on defense here for UMBC. No timeouts remaining for the Retrievers. Both teams in the bonus. Possession arrow favors UMBC. They cannot challenge anything.
Yeah, the thing that is a difficult choice right now, they've had success playing really almost reckless defense and going after it. Now when they come back, they got the shot clock working. They have a differential. Whoa, brother! They just got to make sure. They get some good shot off right now.
Howard missed the front end of 2 1-and-1s on the last 2 possessions. It's Gillis. 13-second differential between shot and game clock. They're on their feet here in Dayton. Howard looking for their first ever NCAA tournament victory. It's Harris. 2 on the shot clock. Harris has to put it up. Oh, it's good! What a shot!
Isolation, size advantage, a great call. What's going on here now? Is there a timeout called?
Timeout whistled for Howard, and UMBC's arguing we got the ball in bounds. We were ready to go. The Retrievers wanted to go against a defense that wasn't set yet.
So there's this isolation, great shot. Ball's in bounds. See the official at the top right there, maybe making a call for a timeout, but I'm not close. Yeah, it really was.
Close. And that changes everything because now Howard can set up a press or a set defense. UMBC, that's going to take up some precious time here.
Well, and also if they didn't get the timeout, they just cleared the bench.
This is true.
They cleared the bench.
That's happened a couple times last week.
Let's see if the officials decide whether that call was made.
They're having a conversation right now. 4-point lead for Howard. As far as foul trouble. Gene, what did you see on that call timeout there?
You know, I'm with you guys. I think the ball was in play, or at least airborne, right? So you've inadvertently kind of hit your whistle. You're going to grant him the timeout. I think what Evan Burrows did was went back and said, look, we're going to give you that timeout and call it, but now we've got to change the clock. It was an 11.45, and they wanted to make sure they got the clock right. They're going to reset, I think, around 13.1, so they have the right time to get things started.
No timeouts remaining for UMBC.
Go right at it, right to the basket.
King, straight to the cup for 2. 7.5 remaining. Howard has 1 timeout remaining. Harris, and that's a timeout called by the Howard bench.
Good
it's
job,
their
Mike.
last one of the game.
Kenny Blakeney all over that just then. He saw that from the other side of the court, 50 feet away, that they were having trouble getting that in.
Jim, you imagine UMBC will try to foul as quickly as possible here.
Yep.
Howard, they've missed the front end of their last 2 1-and-1s. It'll be another 1-and-1 on the next foul here. For UMBC, what are you drawing up as far as if this is a 2 or 3 point game and you get the rebound after this free throw?
Well, I think you work at the defensive end right now to make sure you get something to happen. You just want to turn this into a foul shooting contest with 7.5. You don't have many choices on it at all. This will be dictated by the defensive sequence, and they'll probably go to the line, is my guess, unless they get a steal.
Possession arrow favors UMBC. This is the tie-up, then foul. So let's look at the clock here. The officials are thinking they might have stopped it early.
They're all through the net right there. Now with that possession arrow, though, I think one of the things that
the officials are checking the clock. They believe there might be less time on the clock. And they stopped it before the ball went through the net, so that'll take a couple precious tenths of a second off the clock for UMBC.
And with that possession arrow, too, I'd be telling the officials immediately, we're going in for the tie-up and take a second off the clock, maybe 2 at most.
Harris to inbound, Diggs to defend.
Remember, he can go baseline to baseline.
No timeouts remaining for either team.
You got to go get him.
Brown gets it in. Brown quickly fouled by Armstrong. So Isaiah Brown, who's a 78% free throw shooter, the redshirt freshman from Ramsey, New Jersey, will have a chance to possibly put Howard up by 4, but a 1-and-1 staring him in the face. The Bison on an 8-game winning streak, looking for their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Brown at the line.
Well, you get it and go on a miss.
It's good.
So if they bring it down, they miss this shot. Blakeney is not a foul guy with the three-point rule, you know, the 3-point advantage. This will answer that question in a hurry.
No good. Retrievers will have a chance to send it to overtime. Diggs, cross-court pass. Armstrong to go to overtime. No good. Howard wins their first ever NCAA tournament game.
83.
Fifth trip to the dance. The Bison are victorious, and for Kenneth Blakeney, how sweet it is for him.
You know, that last play, too, with UMBC trying. Watch this pass. See how high this pass goes up? It causes a little confusion. If it's a more direct pass, Armstrong may have had one chance to put the ball on the floor and get closer. Well defended. What a terrific game, though, to start things off. And I would just say to you and Jenny, welcome to the dance.
Are they all like this?
They're all like this.
And your hats go off to UMBC. The 12-game winning streak comes to an end, so the Howard Bison will head to Buffalo to take on the Michigan Wolverines Thursday at 7:10 Eastern. And just an impressive performance for Howard. Okoje leads the way with 23 points. Taylor with 16. Harris with 19. How good was Gillis? 8 points, 7 assists. A wonderful job of just keeping this offense under control. But for Brown to come in and hit the free throw towards the end, clutch. Let's send it down to Jenny Dell with a herd of bison.
I do have a herd of bison surrounding me right now. Coach, Howard's first NCAA tournament win. You have won so many as a player. How does it compare to winning this with this group of guys as a head coach?
I'm so proud of these guys because it's not about me. It's about Howard and it's about their student experience. These guys are going to remember this as I will for the rest of my life, and so will the Howard community. It's part of what makes this group so special that they understand this moment and they really embraced it.
How proud are you of the culture that you've built here at Howard?
Well, I'm more proud that, Dr. Wayne Fredericks gave me an opportunity, Mr. Kerry Davis, our AD. I had an unconditional resume and they allowed me to come in, but these guys have really embraced what we're about and what Howard's about.
Okay, we have Michigan next on the docket. How are you going to shock the world?
I haven't even thought about it. We've just been thinking about UMBC and Coach Ferry and his team. They had a wonderful year and they were such a competitive team today. So I give them all the credit, and what a wonderful college basketball game.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. March Madness, baby.
History for Howard, their first ever NCAA tournament victory. The first four continue shortly with Texas versus NC State. Brian Anderson, Dick Vitale, Charles Barkley in the call for that one. We'll send you to our Atlanta studio after these messages.